Hey y'all, welcome to Mississippi Girl Life. I'm just a country Mississippi girl married to a New York City boy and a mom of three living in North Carolina.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel, Mississippi Girl Life. So y'all, this is part 3 of the series of the budget-friendly shopping list, okay, that I've been doing. And this is my second time filming this particular video. Because the first time I filmed the whole video, got ready to check it, no sound because my mic went off. Oh my goodness. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this is going to be light, power, communication, warmth, and shelter. All right. So this is meant to, help somebody out, get somebody some ideas, keep you from being overwhelmed. That's why I'm doing them in different sections, okay, and just making it a series. All right. So once I get through and get them all uploaded, they're going to be spaced out. It'll be like a video in between. So if you haven't watched the last two, okay, I'm going to upload they uploaded, then a few videos in between, then the second part, and then the 3 videos, and now the third part. Okay. But then after I get all the series together, I will eventually put it in its own playlist. Okay. So let's get into it. Light, power, communication, warmth, and shelter is what we're going to cover in this. So number 1 on the list, we're going to first start with light, power, and communication. Number 1 on the list is going to be your flashlight, headlamps, okay, hands-free. So we know in an emergency situation, it's always good to have flashlights. But also something else that you can do is you can go to like Dollar Tree and get the solar lights, put them outside, let them get power, cut them off, and when you need them, they may be charged enough to have light in your house if the grid go down, okay? The thing is, you don't want to use your power station and stuff if you don't have to. So if you can get some solar stuff, like little things from the Dollar Tree, and as long as the sun out, keep them charged, and they should have a little switch to turn it off, put it away, and you can use that. That'll buy you a little bit more time. Also, these headlamps, they are perfect to have. They are the little elastic band that comes around and it sit right here with a little light on it. Because you may have to go out, you may have to handle stuff at night, you may have to tote stuff. You don't want to have a flashlight in your mouth or trying to maneuver a flashlight. You want your hands free. So that right there is a good thing to have, okay? Next, extra batteries. We know extra batteries is important. Also, rechargeable batteries. You need to have both. Rechargeable batteries, very, very good if you have a way to charge them up, especially if you have one of the little units that can charge, the sun can charge, solar units. That is perfect. But the sun may not be out that day. It may be down or whatnot. That's where your regular batteries going to come in hand. So you need to have both. Mainly those regular batteries. And look, don't go to the Dollar Tree getting those batteries. You get what you pay for, okay? Them batteries do not last. Some things you just cannot go cheap on, okay? I always tell y'all that. Some things I will not go cheap on, okay? Keep that in mind. Next is power banks, okay? You can get a lot of different power banks. I have some that are solar, like this one right here. So along with my power stations, and I've showed y'all this. This one is from Step Angel. I can charge this in the wall. I can charge this with my my solar power station, or I can set this out there and let it charge too, because it has little solar panels on it, and it has a flashlight on it. Okay, so you can get these, or you can get Walmart have some smaller ones and stuff. Just power banks, but make sure you try to get you like a solar power generator or something. And what I mean by that, one of these will come in handy, okay? If you can see right here, this is 3 of mine. I have the Echo Flow Pro, I have the Opez, and I also have this Pulsar. I also have a Jackery too. It is in the back. So having those will help a bunch, okay? So keep that in mind, all right? Next, charging cables for all devices. Make sure that you have a lot of charging cards, okay, for your phones, your tablet, whatever. Tablets and stuff have changed. phones, these newer phones have changed. A lot of them is taking the type C cord, okay? So make sure you have the right ones for your phone, all right? So that's another thing. I no longer buy cheap because those cords don't last, all right? So getting them from the Dollar Tree, I have learned that they'll last a little bit, but not so long. So I get mine from like Walmart or either CVS or something like that. I actually ended up bought one wall block and 2 cards from CVS and paid almost $60. But it is what it is, okay? It's lasting. Solar chargers. We just talked about that. It was on down the list. Solar chargers is really, really good. But you always want to have a backup because, like I say, if the sun is not out, all right, or the sun may be out and you may not need to be outside. It could be radiation, anything. Or it can be just not letting people know you're at home. You may not want to be outside or can't be outside your house, okay? So you still need other means also. Solar is going to get you by. But once that stuff go down and you can't go outside, you're going to have other means of whatever it is that you're using that is solar. All right, next. NOAA, weather radio, hand crank or battery. Now I do have a hand crank one. I can charge it through solar. I can plug it up and charge it. It has a flashlight on it. You can get them for a little or nothing. They're not that expensive. Get a good one, okay? But that's going to be your communication. That's going to be how to keep informed with what's going on with this weather, whatever it is, news, all that. You may not be able to see it on the TV or have your phones may be out, but you may be able to get certain things on those hand crank radios. So get you one. All right. Next, warmth and shelter. Okay. Emergency blankets. My granny used to always tell me when I first came over here, she called me and she's like, you over there around all that water, make sure you got some blankets and stuff in the car in a tote or whatnot with some food and water in a tote. Oh, my grandma used to be on it. I love her so much. She taught me everything I know about this stuff. And guess what? It is worth it, okay? Because you can get stuck out and you may have kids or even for yourself. Or sometimes some people might be like, well, I don't need electric emergency blankets or blankets and stuff in the summertime. Things can happen. If something happened and someone get hurt, then whether it's hot outside or not, depending on how they got hurt, you may have to keep them warm. Okay, depending on what the situation is, they may be cold. They may come down with a fever or something where they're cold. So you need emergency blankets or blankets itself all season. Okay, you have to think like that, all right? So, next is sleeping bags. Oh my goodness, now this is good. Winter months. Even if you stay in an area that is, people say like Florida, they don't get that cold, all this. The last couple years, Florida has experienced cold weather that they've never experienced or hadn't experienced in a long time. Climate change. You can't depend on that. Okay? You can't depend on that. All right? You need to be prepared. Try to get the lowest temperature sleeping bag you can get. Okay? Try to get the lowest one you can get. And what I mean by that, one that's going to take the lowest temp. Okay? That's going to be very important. You can always take off, but if you can't add to with what you ain't got. Now you can take off with what you got. You get what I'm saying? So make sure to keep you warm. Next is tarps. And the sleeping bag is season appropriate. No matter where you at, get one that can take very, very, very below zero cold temps, okay? Next is tarps and paracord. Now, I always say a prepper and a homesteader should always have tarp and zip ties. They didn't put zip ties on here, but I'm saying tarps and zip ties. Always. That's a must, okay? Now, I do have paracord, and I have some that I bought from Walmart. I have some that I bought from Harbor Freight, and I have some that I bought from the Dollar Tree. Again, you get what you pay for. Now, paracords, you may have to hook that on you and hook that on somebody else, or hook that on a tree or something and hook it on somebody else. You may have to pull somebody up, whatever the case may be. You go and get some cheap paracord, it's going to snap on you, okay? You want to get some heavy-duty paracord, all right? Tarps, heavy-duty tarps. Heavy-duty tarps. If you're going to prep right. Now, if you can't afford the more expensive tarps or whatnot, your money may be funny, get you what you can afford. Something is better than nothing. But if you're going to prep and you say, hey, I got extra funds to get this, get the best. It's going to keep you from having to go back later and replace a lot of stuff. Get the best. So try to get heavy duty. And heavy duty tarps, depending on where you go, you can find some that's decent. Tractor Supply have some expensive ones. But Harbor Freight have some that's still a little expensive for tarps, but it is manageable, okay? So shop around, all right? Next, duct tape. You need duct tape. You can stop leaks with duct tape temporarily. You do it right. Duct tape may need to be used to wrap a bandage. You know, some of that skin tape and all that you use for wrap a band may not be enough, depending on what the wound is. You may have to put some big, like we was talking about, like the in the previous part 2 series, the sanitation napkins, the pads. If you were to use that for a wound, you probably going to need something bigger, like duct tape and stuff, to wrap around that to keep germs and stuff out after you done cleaned it. So it can be used for patching things, so many different things. You need duct tape, okay? Hand warmers. If y'all hear somebody snoring, that is summer over here, okay? Hand warmers, cold climates, okay? Some people know about this, but you can use the hand warmers, and now use at your own risk. But the hand warmers you can also use to keep your feet warm. You catch a lot of cold and stuff from your bottom of your feet, your hands, and your head. Okay, so those are main things you want. Oh, but all over pretty much. But those are the main things you want to keep warm. Okay, so your hand. Now, don't put no hand warmers on your head. I ain't telling nobody to do that. I don't recommend that nor suggest that. I'm just saying that the hand warmers for your hand and to keep your feet warm will be not for your head. I'm just telling you that you catch a lot of cold, you know. You hear the older people say your head, what they say, dang, it was just on my tongue how it said, head cold. They say head cold, but it be referred in a different way. I can't even remember now, but I've heard it in a different way. But y'all get what I'm saying. So next, work gloves. Work gloves comes in handy, especially if you can get the one that you can't, that it say anti-puncture, like you can't puncture your skin through them. Now, I'm pretty sure, depending on what you're doing, there are some things that can puncture those gloves. But if they are like that, you may have to pick up wood or whatever, and they'll help you from cutting up your hands and stuff. So get some that is good quality, okay? You may have to tote bricks or something, and that stuff will cut, especially if it's cold and everything is already dry. You need work gloves. Get some good ones, okay? Try to get the ones that don't say on here, but I'm just telling you, try to get the ones that you can't really puncture. And it will say anti-puncture, but like I say, you do something hard enough or mess with the wrong thing, it'll puncture those too, okay? So keep that in mind. So that is the end of this list, okay, for the light, power, communication, warmth, and shelter. So I hope I have motivated somebody. I hope this do not have y'all overwhelmed. That's why I'm doing it in sections. But I hope y'all are taking heed to this information and, you know, doing what you need to do, okay? So with that being said, also, if you're not over on MGL's Home and Garden, and it's going to have Mississippi Girl Life in parentheses. If you're not over there, go ahead and go over there. What you waiting for? Go ahead and go over there. So with that being said, I'll see y'all in the next one. If it's yours as well, y'all, please, please, please be safe, okay? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you be notified each and every time that I upload a video. And I will see y'all later, if it's God's will. Love y'all. Bye.